Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Cinema Savvy. My name is Tate, and I'm here for the first time in a while, actually, to talk about Civil War, a film that I've seen coming back from Austria. And my God, how can I put this? This is one of my favorite films of the year. This film was absolutely fantastic. I'm coming straight out the gate and going straight into it. This is Alex Garland. I want to say his third or fourth film now. I've really loved his work with Annihilation, Ex Machina, and he said that he was going to move back into writing after this, and he's going back to helping with writing for the next 28 Days Later sequel and stuff like that. But he's made this film with A24, a studio that has garnered a decent reputation across the board for making really good just good cinema. I know people say there's a vibe behind the A24 film, stuff like that, but no, they just make good films, and they make projects that people want to make. They don't really interfere as a studio, which is exactly how you want cinema to be, not run by the studio heads, but run by the directors, run by the people who are actually making the film. So this film ticks a lot of boxes for me. First of all, it's quite a short film. It's only 109 minutes long, so it flies by. And for it being kind of a political thriller is the best way of putting it. It's like really kind of political war thriller. It's really it paces you through it really well. You're on the edge of your seat for a lot of the scenes, and you really feel the impact of everything that's going on around you. It's absolutely fantastic. It takes on an alternate kind of version of history, whether it's history in the future, history kind of recent past and stuff like that. It's brilliant in the way that it depicts it, and it feels very realistic and very poignant for our times. So, like I said, it ticks a lot of boxes. I'm going to read you through the synopsis. So the synopsis is, in the near future, a group of war journalists attempt to survive while reporting the truth as the United States stands on the brink of civil war. Now, this film basically follows the journalists, and this is a journalist's accounts of war. And I always enjoy war films that don't quite follow the soldiers. They follow the people with the soldiers. I'm talking about Good Morning Vietnam, those kind of, styles of films. Whether you look at a film it's one of those films that, it puts you in the action, but it puts you almost documenting it to the side. And that gives it a very different angle to a lot of other films that have been released in recent times. And especially with this subject matter of, American Civil War and something that may happen in the future. We don't know. America's political situation is very tenuous, given it's an election year in itself. But the fact that you're watching from the sideline, from a neutral perspective, you're not on one side, you're not on the other side, you are literally documenting the events, and you're seeing the horrors that take place of modern warfare, especially in a nation that, for a lot of people who watch this film are going to be Americans. It's going to put them really in the heartland of their own country and kind of show the face of, what is going on or what could take place. So absolutely fantastic in the way that it presents itself, even before we go into the amazing cinematography of this film, the frame placement of all of the kind of action that's taking place, the photo stills that are thrown throughout the film of the different photos taken in action, the perspective we're given of one of the characters. So the entire film is kind of, from the perspective of Kaylee Spenny playing a character called Jessie, and she's kind of following her hero, Kirsten Dunst, who is a world-renowned photojournalist of war, has taken like amazing photos in horrific places. She's following her on this road trip to Washington so they can try and interview the president before he gets, assassinated or kicked out or invaded by, this kind of made-up force between, the Florida Alliance and, the Western forces of California and I can't remember where the other place is, California, and it was Texas or something like that. But it's a fascinating film because you're given that kind of wide-eyed perspective of going into a world of horrors from kind of a youthful, naive perspective about their ideas of war, as well as the same time getting that kind of stone-hard kind of look at war from Kirsten Dunst, who has seen it all before and doesn't really flinch at much. You're also given a brilliant perspective from Wagner Moura, a producer and also interviewer who is looking for that big ticket, but also takes it with a pinch of salt and kind of, has that kind of love for life and love for the warfare and love to get in the action because he understands that's kind of his role and that's his job. You also have an amazing performance from Stephen McKinley, playing Sammy as well, who gives that kind of wise, older look on the entire situation, that kind of reflective look. So you're given kind of a core cast of 4, and it is a road trip film where they go through the country and kind of see the different areas, some which are war-torn, some which are ignoring everything that's going on around them. And it gives you such a perplexing look at the entire kind of scape of it. And even though I know people, especially in America, are immediately going, oh, this is kind of so unrealistic of these things taking place in this war and stuff like that. It is a film, it's fictionalized. People have to understand that, and people have to kind of accept that from the very start. What isn't fictionalized is a depiction of how war presents itself in a modern setting, and how war presents itself in a country that is kind of, you know, meant to be one of the world's leading powers, and kind of the different ways people react, the different ways people would fight, the different ways people would refuse to fight and stuff like that. It's fascinating in all that sense. And you're given it from 4 different perspectives throughout the entire film. The focus on kind of the younger, naive perspective of kind of, you know, getting involved in war and getting involved in something that's kind of adrenaline filled, taking a photo of someone being shot because it would make for a good cover piece in a magazine, or make for a good kind of news headline to go with, or even just to document the event. It's brilliant how it's put together, and that comes from kind of the genius of Alex Garland and his writing team and everything behind it. It's so well put together and so well paced, and it doesn't outstay its welcome. It perfectly ends exactly where you would want it to end, and there's closure for a lot of the characters. It's brilliant in its own sense. There's no real kind of individual stories that take place in it. It is literally just the story that is taking place in front of you, and it takes place over the course of a few days as well, and shows you exactly kind of, you know, the different areas of America that would be war-torn, the different things that would go with it as they march their way to Washington. I implore people to go watch this. This is one of my favorite films of the year. It's up there with The Iron Claw as one of my favorites of the year. So well put together, so well acted. It's beautifully shot. The soundtrack is silent in the areas where it needs to be, and then just quietly humming along in the areas where, you know, it just kicks through. I cannot give this enough praise. I was so happy I was able to catch this in cinema as well, because I was looking at kind of the film listings for that, and it saw it was going to be coming off soon. So I was like, I need to go and see this. I need to go and see this. So if you still have the opportunity to go and see it, and you still have the availability to go and see it in the cinema, please, I implore you, go and see it. Don't wait till this kind of a home release or a stream release, because I don't feel it's suited for that. I feel like this is suited to be watched on the big screen and kind of experienced in that kind of dark setting where you are just kind of alone with your own opinions and the film that's taking place in front of you. I'm really happy that I got to see this film, and I can't give this film enough praise in its various different areas. I'll be looking forward to seeing it again. I may try and even see it before it leaves cinemas again, if I get the chance to as well. But you know, with this channel, we always want to spark a discussion. So please comment below with your thoughts on Civil War. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe as well. I want to create a discussion about this film. I want to see what people's thoughts and opinions were on it. I really enjoyed it. So I want to see if anyone kind of didn't enjoy it, or if people were kind of on the same page as me and they really enjoyed kind of the acting performances, everything that went with it. Just everything about this film I really, really enjoyed, including the very, very intense scenes, and the very, very, very intense scene, one in particular that's starring Jesse Plemons, which I know they tease it in the trailer. That scene goes on for a lot longer than you think it would, and that scene is terrifying, actually terrifying. Kind of the tease of the what kind of American are you? Brilliantly written, really, really intense scene. So please give me your thoughts on that, and please also go and follow us on our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Letterboxd, so you can go and follow us on all of those. The link is in the link tree, link down in the description, and also go and pick up some merch from our Redbubble store. There's going to be a few reviews coming out, so this is going to be the first one. I'm also going to be recording a review for Rebel Moon Part 2 within the next few days. So that's going to be a nice, fun review to go through. So we'll be looking forward to people's opinions on that. And of course, we'll be having our monthly stream of what we watched coming out soon. We just need to check the dates on that first and see if we can get anyone else on just to guest in as well. So thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.